this guy isn't rescued by the Thunderbirds. This guy is rescued by the VertiBird. Cut to commercial.
Splashdown, launch VertiBird rescue.
Pilot, stand by for liftoff. This is VertiBird, the chopper you fly with precision controls for pitch and power. Perform your pre-flight checks and launch on your rescue mission to recover the astronaut. Use your piloting skills to manage your speed and altitude precisely. Plan your approach carefully. He's ready for pickup, slow to a hover. Control your descent. Hook up. You've got him. Now, return to base. Mission complete. The VertiBird electric copter comes with a space capsule, landing pads, lifeboat, and astronaut from Mattel. Always wanted to star in a commercial. Today we're rewinding back to the 1970s and one of the coolest toys of the decade, the Mattel VertiBird. If you were a kid back then, you either had one or you wanted one. This was the closest you could come to piloting your own aircraft as a kid. Now this one is actually mine from 1972. I've had to do a little bit of repair to get it mostly working, and of course go out and buy D-size batteries. Who even uses these anymore? Released in 1971, the VertiBird was a mechanical marvel. Now, there were some coin-operated arcade games around at the time that were very similar in the way they operated, like Midway's Whirlybird from 1969, where you flew the helicopter and touched pylons to score points, and their later offering Chopper, where you had to shoot aliens with your light beam. Like those coin-operated games, the VertiBird featured a tethered helicopter that could fly in circles, change altitude, and even perform rescue missions, all controlled from a 2-lever console. The base housed 4 D-cell batteries, which powered the motor and doubled as a ballast to keep the whole thing grounded. And yes, it ate batteries like candy. Mastering the VertiBird took finesse. It wasn't just a toy, it was a test of skill, especially now that it's more than half a century old and has had a lot of repairs done to it. But it would go on to inspire kids for aviation and engineering. And no doubt it had something to do with my wanting to become a pilot in some way, shape, or form. Now, Mattel leaned into the space-age vibe of the day with the astronaut rescue set and included a capsule and an astronaut in a life raft so you could do daring rescue missions. And here's a fun fact. The VertiBird's flight physics were surprisingly realistic. It could hover, dip, experience ground effect, and if you dropped your payload accidentally while flying, be ready for a sudden altitude jump. Mattel made other versions featuring themes like Night Patrol, which glowed in the dark, Rescue Ship, and even sci-fi tie-ins like Battlestar Galactica and Space 1999. There were several international versions like the VertiBird Elicottero Carabinieri, the Italian version of airborne rescue. And there were knockoffs that capitalized on some of the other pop culture trends of the time like Star Trek. The VertiBird quietly faded out in the late 1980s, but it left a lasting impression. Of course, there were knockoff versions that would come later, like this version called Chopper Patrol Fire Rescue, which is also mine and also mostly works. It came with more things to pick up, the control station was more high-tech, but note the added ring around the propellers for safety. But there's nothing quite like the original astronaut rescue set. Even 50+ years later, it's still fun to play with. Today, the VertiBird is a collector's item. You can still find them on eBay, and if you're willing to spend a couple $100, you might be able to find one that's working. They'll pop up every now and then in pop culture. If you're a fan of the original Hawaii Five-0, check out Season 8, Episode 12. The VertiBird is a nostalgic reminder of a time where toys didn't need screens to feel high-tech, and even simple mechanical toys could make our imagination soar. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Flashbacks and Fun Facts.